Check this out. Wow.
Angel Reese just had one of the most embarrassing games of her career, and honestly, it was painful to watch. She wasn't just bad, she was a walking disaster.
She has her worst professional pro game.
Sloppy turnovers, laughable mistakes, and a play style so reckless it looked like she was trying out for the WWE instead of the WNBA. She came in talking big, acting like she was about to dominate, but guess what? Reality hit hard. Napheesa Collier wasn't having any of it. She stayed focused, let her game do the talking, and made sure Angel Reese got a front row seat to her own humiliation. And the best part, Collier got the last laugh with an ice-cold game-winning shot, leaving Reese looking shocked, confused, and completely exposed. All that trash talk for nothing, all those cheap shots wasted. This game wasn't just a L for Angel Reese, it was an absolute disaster. And trust me, we're about to break down every single brutal moment that proves she's not as untouchable as she thinks. Stay tuned, because this is one breakdown you don't want to miss. But before we jump into the good stuff, take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. By joining our crew, you'll always be in the loop with the latest WNBA updates, expert takes, and breakdowns of big moves just like this. Don't miss out. We've got every angle covered, so hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive right in. Imagine you're a basketball star stepping onto the court confident and ready to dominate. The lights are bright, the crowd is cheering, and your team is counting on you. It's supposed to be your moment. The game is set, the stakes are high, and fans are expecting to see a performance worth remembering. But instead of showcasing your skills, you accidentally become the star of your own blooper reel. That's exactly what happened to Angel Reese in a recent unforgettable game.
Angel Reese with what looks like a very dirty move under the basket. Check this out. I mean, wow.
Angel Reese didn't just have a bad game, she had a game that people will remember for all the wrong reasons, from turnovers to missed shots, from trash talk that backfired to an embarrassing finish. This was one of those performances that fans and critics won't stop talking about for a long time. In fact, if there were a Hall of Fame for self-inflicted sports disasters, this game might just have a dedicated wing for Angel Reese.
Angel Reese was on Napheesa Collier, giving her a bunch of frustrating bumps, and at the end of the game, the Lunar Owls does come away with the dub.
Now, let's break it down. Reese walked onto the court with all the swagger you'd expect from a star player. She strutted and like she owned the place, chest out, full of confidence, and ready to put on a show. She was talking trash before the first whistle even blew, making faces, taunting opponents, and acting like she was about to have a career-defining performance. The energy was there, but the execution, well, that was missing entirely.
I mean, Angel Reese is out there looking like a UFC fighter.
It didn't take long for things to start going downhill. Right from the tip-off, you could tell Reese was more focused from putting on a spectacle than actually playing winning basketball. Instead of sticking to the fundamentals, she was too busy playing to the cameras, throwing up wild shots, making risky moves, and barking at the opposing team. But confidence without substance is just arrogance, and Reese quickly found herself spiraling out of control. Her bravado soon turned into visible frustration, and that frustration led to recklessness. One moment, she was trying to show off her flashy footwork. The next, she was fumbling the ball like she was allergic to it. You could see it on her face. She knew things weren't going her way, but instead of adjusting, she doubled down on the nonsense. If there was ever a night to play smart, disciplined basketball, this was it. Instead, she turned the game into a personal highlight reel of what not to do on the court.
It looked very intentional, everything that is happening with the Unrivaled League, because all of this stuff transpired, like I stated, just 4 to 5 hours after it was announced that Sabrina was quitting the league.
And boy, did it backfire spectacularly. With every mistake, she got sloppier, trying to force plays instead of letting the game come to her. Instead of proving she was the dominant force she claimed to be, she turned herself into the main attraction for all the wrong reasons. By the time halftime rolled around, the only ones entertained were the fans watching her downfall in real time. Let's talk about the numbers, because they don't lie. Reese had 7 turnovers, yes, 7, and we're not talking about minor slip-ups. These were pull-on did she really just do that moments that made fans cringe and laugh at the same time. One of the worst moments came when she threw the basketball straight at the backboard and then, brace yourself, rebounded her own pass.
Angel Reese rebounded her own pass. Guys, I'm dead. I saw this and was like, this can't be real.
Yes, you read that right. She passed to herself.
Yes, you read that right. She passed to herself. Fans watching at home were in disbelief. It was the kind of mistake that you'd expect from a middle school player, not a professional athlete. It was like she had a sudden identity crisis and thought she was playing handball instead of basketball then. As if trying to outdo herself, she followed it up with another masterpiece of disaster completely. Unnecessary, no look past the problem. There was no one there to catch it. The ball sailed out of bounds like it had somewhere better to be. Even her own teammates seemed confused about what she was trying to do. Maybe she was auditioning for a comedy skit instead of leading her team to victory. It's like she thought she was in a Harlem Globetrotter show, but forgot the part where you're supposed to be good at tricks.
The Lunar Owls crushed the Rose BC, and Angel, well, she did some rather interesting things on the court.
And it wasn't just those two moments. Reese made sure to add variety to her turnover showcase, dribbling straight into defenders, check getting stripped because she wasn't paying attention, check passing to a teammate who wasn't even looking, double check. At one point it felt like she was playing for both teams, gifting the opponents easy possessions like it was Christmas morning. It was almost as if she had an internal competition going on. How many different ways can I give the ball away? Well, mission accomplished. 7 turnovers in a single game is bad enough. But the way she did it, legendary for all the wrong reasons. But turnovers weren't the only issue. That night, Rays wasn't just giving the ball away. She was also playing a branded basketball that was more about brute force than actual skill. And that led us to another chapter in her night of horrors.
Angel was 8 for 16 for 17 points, 10 boards last night. 7 damn turnovers. 7. All right.
She was pushing, shoving, and trying to intimidate everyone around her, especially her opponent Napheesa Collier, but Collier wasn't falling for it. While Reese was busy playing the tough girl act, Collier was calmly locking and focused on winning the game. And that's exactly what she did. It was like watching a chess master go up against someone who thought flipping the board was a legitimate strategy. Spoiler alert, it's not. Reese was out there throwing elbows, body checking opponents, and making every play personal. As if basketball had suddenly turned into a boxing match. But instead of rattling Collier, it only made her more determined. Reese was trying to bully her way through the game, but Collier was built for this, calm, composed, and completely unfazed by the chaos. Meanwhile, Reese was unraveling. She wasn't just turning the ball over, she was also taking some of the worst shots imaginable. And when I say bad, I mean high school gym teacher, showing off and airballing bad. She kept throwing up wild attempts, hoping anything would go in, but instead of scoring, she kept bricking shots, missing layups, and giving her opponents extra chances to take control of the game. It was like watching someone play basketball with their eyes closed and hoping for a miracle.
Angel Reese is the most unskilled basketball player in the history of basketball, in my opinion. She has no skill. She knows that she's not a very good basketball player.
And then there was the infamous layup attempt. At one point, she had a wide open layup, no defenders, no pressure, just an easy shot. But instead of making it, she somehow managed to botch it so badly that fans in the stands collectively groaned. The ball bounced off the backboard like it owed her money. Even physics was confused by what she was doing out there. It was so bad that even her teammates had to look away. The more she missed, the more frustrated she got. And the more frustrated she got, the worse she played. She was stuck in a vicious cycle of bad decisions and even worse execution. It was the basketball version of a car crash you didn't want to watch, but you just couldn't look away. Then came the moment that sealed Reese's fate in this game. With the score close and time winding down, Napheesa Collier delivered the ultimate revenge, a clutch game-winning shot that sent Reese and her team packing.
8 to shoot, Tiggins Smith matched up by Gray. Sykes took a fall. Collier wills it! 12-1, Lunar Owls!
But this wasn't just a loss, this was a complete and total takedown, a mic drop moment on the court, of performance so embarrassing that even her biggest fans had to turn off their TVs and pretend they never supported her. But it didn't end there. Instead of walking away quietly, Collier turned directly to Reese and barked back at her the same way Reese had been doing all game long. And let me tell you, that moment was priceless. The secondhand embarrassment was so real you could feel it through the screen.
Collier wills it! 12-1, Lunar Owls!
The internet wasted no time capturing the moment, replaying it in slow motion and turning it into memes faster than you could blink. If Reese thought she was the queen of trash talk, Collier just proved she was the queen of shutting it down. Now you'd think Reese would take this humbling moment as a lesson, maybe hold her hands up and admit, yeah, I got outplayed. But nope, she did what sore losers do best. She started pointing fingers at everyone but herself. The refs, oh, they were against her teammates Didn't do enough, the crowd apparently. They were part of the problem too. It was like watching someone trip over their own shoelaces and then start blaming gravity for existing. And the worst part, the excuses kept coming. Reese had an entire meltdown post-game ranting about bad calls, unfair treatment, and anything else she could come up with to avoid facing the obvious truth. She got cooked. This wasn't just a bad night, this was a full-blown exposure of her weaknesses broadcast for the world to see. If there's one thing sports fans can't stand, it's a sore loser. And unfortunately for Reese, she was putting on a masterclass in how not to handle a loss, but the humiliation wasn't over just yet because the internet was about to have its turn roasting her next. Well, you've made it this far, that must mean you're really enjoying the video, right? So why not take a quick second to hit that follow button? It's totally free, super simple, and helps us keep bringing you more awesome content, especially if you love the WNBA, whether it's game highlights, player spotlights, or behind-the-scenes moments. We got you covered. Plus, by following, you'll never miss a beat when it comes to your favorite teams and players. Go on, tap that follow now. All right, let's jump back into the internet. Wasted no time turning Reese's mistakes into memes, and the highlight reels of her worst moments started circulating within minutes. Every missed shot, every clumsy turnover, every exaggerated trash-talking moment that led to absolutely nothing. It was all there on repeat for the entire world to see.